Well, welcome everyone. Happy to have you here. Our weekly meeting. I want to start out by telling you about a few weeks ago, I got called by the Inspector General's office and was asked to come in and talk with them regarding a complaint that they had received. I was happy to do that, and we certainly answered all the questions we could. The interesting part is, and I hadn't realized this because I've never been called in to the Inspector General's office before, was that they don't tell you anything about it until you get there. So when I asked them, can you explain what information you need from me and what's it about, they said no. So when I got there, I answered the questions I could, the best I could with the knowledge I had. I just wanted to be really clear that the complaint is not involve any kind of misuse of money, and it does not involve any kind of legal action or any claim that any crime was committed. The report's supposed to come out sometime this week. I can't really talk about it because it's still confidential at this point until it comes out. And it's not public until the Inspector General releases it. I want you to know up front that I disagree with the assumptions that were made in the complaint, and we have written a response to it that will become public when the complaint becomes public. And once that happens, once it's released, I'll be happy to answer any and all questions that you have about it. So what questions do you have about other matters than that?
I have a question about that. If it hasn't been released and you can't answer questions about it, why bring it up now? Why not just wait till it's released?
Well, I wanted to give people a heads up, and it's going to be released in the next day or two, so I just wanted to let you know that it was coming.
Can you even tell us the topic? Is it the police radios? Is it the water plant or the sewage plant?
I can't tell you anything.
But you have seen a draft of their report?
I have, and we are writing a response.
So you disagree with that draft?
Mm-hmm.
Has that response been submitted yet?
No.
But I know there's a 10-day window to get it submitted?
It has to be submitted today. It'll be submitted this afternoon. Okay, what else?
I think when regular people hear this, they're going to have all these ideas that pop in their head. Can you say anything to the public to sort of like calm them down a little bit? Because it just, with it being so vague, it's easy to be like, oh, that's a really bad thing.
Yeah, I just let the public know that has absolutely nothing to do with any kind of financial mismanagement, financing, has absolutely no criminal involvement, anything like that. So there really is no major issue.
So it deals with some aspect of the way the city runs the show here, and they obviously have a problem with some aspect of that, right?
Well, they had a complaint that they investigated.
Does it involve you personally?
Yes.
And this was just a complaint from somebody within the city, or?
I don't even know. They don't tell you.
Is this
They don't tell you what it's about. They don't tell you who filed the complaint.
How long did you meet with the Inspector General's office?
About 45 minutes.
Were you surprised by all of this?
Of
And by the
course.
complaint itself?
Of course.
It's not something you...
And we can talk about it when the report is released.
I mean, there have been, especially on the part of commissioners, some concerns about how you conducted business and transparency, getting information at the last minute, etc. Is there anything you want to tell the people of West Palm Beach right now? I mean, about the way you conduct business here as the mayor?
Well, I'll tell you right now that we run a really ethical shop here. We are very particular about what we do and how we do it. We are really involve the commissioners in a lot of decision making, and that's our goal. And we work toward it every day. This is not related to any of the kinds of things that you think it might be related to in that aspect. And it's, again, it's not financial, it's not criminal, it's administrative.
Personally, is it difficult for you to deal with this? I mean, has this been difficult?
It makes me angry. But we can talk about that when it gets released.
Can you say why angry though? Do you just think it's going to shed bad light for unnecessary reasons?
No, I think it's quite the opposite.
What do you mean?
Well, I really can't talk about it, it's really hard, but I think that it's such a really small issue that they've latched onto. And when you look at all of the big things that are happening, it's de minimis.
And when you say they, I know you can't get specific, but what's the most you could say about that, just so we have a way of explaining?
I just
to
said
people?
it.
Okay.
It's not criminal and it's not financial.
When you say that it's a small issue, is it, when it comes out, will it be something we've heard about before?
I doubt it.
But you thought it was important enough to preemptively come here and talk about it?
I've been, my whole philosophy has been to let you know what's going on, and I'm here to let you know what's going on, to be transparent, to let you know that, we'll be calling you in a day or two to talk about this some more. Yeah, I thought it was important.
Do you think this is sort of just part of being mayor, that these sort of complaints are going to pop up?
It happens every day. Yeah, of course it's being part of being mayor. People are watching what you do on a regular basis, daily basis, and I have a big operation here. We have 1,500 employees, $165 million operating budget. I have 61 managers and directors who report to me. So it's a big operation, and people people expect a lot from us, and we should deliver that. That's what we should be doing the best we can for the citizens of West Palm Beach.
And when you got the call from the Inspector General, did you say it just came out of the blue for you?
Yes. Okay, let's
Let
change
me
the
ask you
topic.
this, where's the city right now with the whole issue of funding the Inspector General? I know when Commissioner Materio ran, she said that she wants the city to resume funding. Is the lawsuit still ongoing? Can you talk about that a little bit?
The lawsuit's still ongoing.
And what's the status, what's the latest, what's happening?
I think we're waiting for a court date or something. It's part of in the legal system. I can't tell you specifically where we are with that.
Is there any chance at dropping that, or are you guys going to see this through?
So far, we're going to see it through. If there's a discussion about dropping it, we'll certainly entertain that. But right now, we're on the path.
I want to talk about a company called Architectural Testing. We did a story on it yesterday.
Yeah, you did. I saw that.
They're pretty noisy. What's your response to the story we did?
I didn't see the story. I just read the website thing, so I didn't see the actual story. But they're very noisy. They're in a industrial area that's adjacent to a residential area, and the citizens who live around there should not be subjected to that kind of living condition. We have been talking with the architectural company. What's their name again?
Architectural Testing.
Architectural Testing. They are very much wanting to be good neighbors. They have agreed to take actions that we hope will dampen the noise, putting up a screen and doing other things. But if that doesn't work, we're going to continue to say to them that they have to lower the decibels of that propeller. It's just not right to subject the residents to that, and I feel strongly about that. I also am very happy that Architectural Testing wants to work with us to solve the problem.
Does it change how you issue permits in the city at all?
Well,
Will it maybe in the future?
I don't know. Well, we're looking at a zoning in progress for that particular area, which means we would halt all other permits that would come in to go to that area until we have a new zoning for that industrial area. We're talking about splitting out industrial from light industrial to heavy industrial. I think that will definitely help with a light industrial use in residential areas. But right now, this company has, they are legally and appropriately permitted. The only issue that right now is a problem is they're violating our noise ordinance, and they need to stop violating our noise ordinance.
So is this zoning change, is that going on right now, or is it something you're thinking about doing?
The zoning in progress is going to the commission on Monday for their vote. And that'll give us what I think is a 6-month stop to everything while we rezone,
But this company would be grandfathered in, correct?
Correct. But
I
they
heard-
still have to obey our noise ordinance.
I've heard some of the residents in that area say, you know, if this were the mayor's neighborhood, she'd be more outraged. What do you have to say to that?
I am outraged. I think that, you know, I have not said anything but the fact that I think it's wrong that it's there. And we're doing everything we can to fix it. It should not, people who live there should not be subject to that. Now, yeah, well, we'll just leave it.
I just have one more question about the investigation, then I'll be done. Do you, I just thought of it.
I told you no more.
Why can't you just say what's going on? I mean, you're the mayor. Why do you have to wait for them to release the report?
Because it's confidential till they release it. That's part of their ordinance. The better question is, why wouldn't you tell somebody what they were being questioned about before they got there? Where's the due process for the people who get called into the Inspector General? Don't they have a right to know what they're being accused of before they get called in?
So you just get called into the office, they don't tell you what it's about, you go there completely not knowing what's happening?
Completely. No way to prepare, no way to bring evidence, you know.
And then you're expected to answer questions that you're not even prepared for.
Do you come with an attorney, a city attorney?
I was told I couldn't bring the city attorney, so I got another attorney to go with me.
Okay. So this is a personal matter then, not a city business
No,
matter?
it's city business.
But you can't, why can't you bring the city attorney if it's city
You
business?
ask the Inspector General's office about that.
Does this investigation change how you do your job going forward?
One tiny little piece of it.
Is that admitting any wrongdoing or fault, or just?
No. As I said, we disagree with what the report says and the assumptions. We think that we did what we were supposed to do. But if we need to make that clear to people, we will.
Without knowing, because you won't tell us what the report's about, but without knowing...
I can't tell you, Andrew. It's not that I won't.
Right.
I cannot under the legal guidelines of the IG.
Right, but without knowing what it's about, I mean, do you think, you know, I asked you before about the funding of the Inspector General's office, do you think there's any kind of payback from them that you guys haven't funded them?
Oh gosh, what do you think?
I'm asking you.
I'm not answering that.
I mean, is there bad blood right now between the city and the Inspector General's office?
I don't think so, actually. At least I have no interaction with the Inspector General, but the people who work for her, we have ongoing conversations. We call each other back and forth. Hi, I need to check on this. What do you think? Hi, something happened here. Will you help us figure this out? We have really excellent relationships with the people who work for her.
How do you think the Inspector General's been doing so far?
It's really hard for me to say. You know, we've had limited interaction with her here in the city in terms of looking at things that we're doing.
But the way you're investigating...
And we have always said, always said that our lawsuit is not about what the Inspector General does, it's about the way it's funded. We believe that there's a role for the Inspector General in this county and that it needs to be filled. The only thing that we've ever questioned is how it's financed.
So when this comes out, is it going to be major? Will it be front page news?
No. Well, it depends on if you decide to make it front page news, but it's a minor thing. Any other questions about other things?
You were talking about noise in one of the neighborhoods. We've been hearing that there are some noise issues, and this is out in where you live, I think, or in Ibis. Issues with the North County Airport. Do you know anything about that? Okay. So the city's not involved in any kind of talks with the county?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah. What else?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.